Hey guys, it's me, and today is Monday, and I thought about this and thought about what type of makeup tutorial or get ready with me do I want to do. I had someone message me the other day on Instagram, and they said none of their foundations were working, yada yada, something we've all probably felt. And what I always recommend when that happens is go back to like ground zero. Go back to your core basics before, this is what I have to do. I have to go back to the basics before I started branching out, because sometimes when we try like this new thing and that new thing, and we just keep bringing all these new things into our makeup routine, sometimes they just don't mesh. And it just helps me when I go back and I remember, oh, this is why I like this. So I'm not going to try this, and this. You know what I mean? It's so good just to go back. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to kind of go back to some of my core favorites. This video is sponsored by Nordstrom. Everything I like is available at Nordstrom. The only thing I'm going to try new is I am going to try this with you guys today. This is the most happening, the most talked about fragrance I think I have ever experienced or ever heard of. And it might just be because I'm paying more attention now. But this is the Perfume de Marly Delena. And this is the fragrance that when I was in Las Vegas and I asked the guy at the YSL counter what was his favorite fragrance, was there anything new and exciting, he took me straight to this counter and this fragrance. Then he had me try the one that has more rose in it. Then when I went back to Nordstrom, because that's where I kind of came in, that fashion mall, I can't remember the exact name of it, I was asking the girls there, what were their favorite fragrances. They took me straight to this. And this is before I had ever seen this, And then now I see it everywhere. Well, both of those times that I smelled it in the store, I didn't care for it because I would have probably bought it. But something happens to me, and I think it's scent blind is what they call it. When I get in a store that already has all of those smells, and then once I smell one or two fragrances, it's like I can't smell anything else. I literally cannot smell it. So I was kind of hesitant to buy the full size because it's expensive. But Nordstrom has this Delena hair perfume, and I love hair perfumes. I have bought several hair perfumes in the past, and I'm hoping that this is going to be similar enough to let me know if I really like this scent. So starting with the Sicily Double Tenseur. I always like this no matter what. I'm going to use this for my base, and my hair is straight up from this morning. Like I woke up like this. I let it dry natural, and this is the clip I put in it to take Will to school. So that is step one. Then we're going to do Estee Lauder Double Wear. I could put the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter under this, but in the summer and when I want it to last, I think I prefer it by itself, because if you put the Charlotte Tilbury under it, which this is a tip, it's not going to be as matte. It may not last as long because it's not the first thing adhering to your skin. And it may shear it out just the slightest bit. So if you don't like Double Wear, just because it's to all of those things, try the Charlotte Tilbury under it. I remember I did like that, but if I'm doing my favorite here. So I'm going to put a little bit out on my sponge here. And I do go back and forth between, in the summer, I go between 3W1 Tawny and I believe it's 4N1 Shell Beige, but Tawny is probably better for me right now. And most of the time, we'll see how it looks today, but most of the time I don't even have to wear concealer. And people, this foundation, you know, is said to have such a full coverage and this and that. Gosh, compared to some of the ones I've tried, it's thin. It isn't very, I think it just gives amazing coverage for the look of it. And I don't think it's all that matte. I just think it got that reputation when there weren't those types of foundations. But like I said, every time I wear this, I just think, gosh, I love this so much. I never look at my face and think it looks too makeup-y. I just always like it. You guys, I had something so emotional happen this morning. I cried, and I don't cry a lot because I used to cry a lot, but through the years, I've learned that if something upsets me enough to cry, I usually try to figure out how to not let that thing happen again. And so I don't cry a lot these days. Something happened this morning. I'll tell you at the end of this video because I don't want to. John said, don't cry on camera, and I don't think I will. But let me just get through this first because this makeup routine is going to be quick. I just applied my bronzer and my camera wasn't on. But the bronzer I put on is my good old trusted and janky looking Chanel Bronzer Universal, and this is in the Deep. And someone the other day tagged me on Instagram about how much they loved it, and I was like, I know, and I don't know why I haven't used it. I guess I felt like I wanted to try a bunch of new ones, and it's not that they're not good, but this is just so good. And I know it's a little pricey, but it will last you years. I mean, I thought about getting a backup. I love it so much, but I just know this will last me so many years. So I just took it here, here, and here. You guys have seen me use this many times. And I just love it. It just creates the perfect, like, sculpted base. And I am going to use something else too. So I'm not going to just go completely in with that. And then I am going to use this hair perfume. So this is Delina. Let's see what the box says here. Gosh, it's hard to read. Here it goes. A hair mist that perfumes your hair with essential notes of Delina. Gently spray a mist on the length and tip of your hair. Small and handy format makes it easy to slip into your purse. The ideal gesture for reviving your fragrance trail throughout the day. It has a good mist on it. So I'm just going to let that get in my hair a little bit. I will spray the ends. Why didn't it smell like this in the store? It just smells beautiful. Like, some scents are sexy, some scents are beachy, some are classy. This is like beautiful and it has like a little bit of a deepness to it. I know it has rhubarb in it. That, I think, is a good way to try that. And if I like it today, I might order it, but I just wanted to try it like that first. So I'll see how it goes. And it definitely doesn't it doesn't burn my nose. I don't smell alcohol, and it doesn't make me like cough or anything. Which, I mean, I know should be the bare minimum, but a lot of them do. Okay, for blush. Blush is something that I kind of dance around, so I thought I would just show you the Charlotte Tilbury Ecstasy blush and how pretty it is. Okay, I'm going to use this brush, and let's use this end of it. I'm going to go all around, and I'm just going to stay on my cheekbone. And maybe bring it in just a little bit. Isn't that pretty? I love that it's bright enough to show, but it just blends right in with your bronzer. And then it already, I don't know if you'll see, when I spray my face, you'll be able to see that it has like a glow of its own. It is just so pretty. Okay, for a little bit of a glow and a glowy bronzer, I've got two that I've got one here that I really like, which is this new one, the Terracotta Light. 03. It's kind of confusing because it's Terracotta Light is just this line of bronzers. The shade is 03, medium warm. So the other one I have is an oldie but a goodie. It's just the good old Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick Compact in bronze. So let's see. I'm going to use a little bit of this on the top of my cheek, all over my cheek. Could you see any glow? And then let's use this kind of gently. Matter of fact, let me make sure, yeah. And I don't know if you can see how just putting that little bit of glowiness on my forehead, it's almost like it keeps it from being like a harsh frame. It makes it just blend back into my hairline. I love it. Okay, I'm going to use some of this on the tops of my cheeks too. And let's go for it. Let's use some right here. This is an old school good product. Kind of like a trailblazer, really, for stuff like this. Okay, see, like I already love my makeup so much, I could almost just go out like this. The rest is just like icing on the cake. Okay, let's go ahead and do lips. Good old Lancome Ideal. This is just like my lip tone, but a little bit darker. Like that. So good. And these lipsticks, these are so good. These are right up there with just my favorite lipsticks of all times. You can, just any of these colors, I think I have 4 of them, and it was hard to even choose which one to use today. It's number 104. They're Lip Power, and they're satin, but they're long wear. And they're beautiful. Every shade is just like the perfect, you know, shade of that color. And this one is so pretty. They just glide right on. Okay, and now we'll put on just a dab of Buxom Celeste. And that will just bring it all together, especially as time goes on. So it's always good to do your lip combo kind of in the beginning. Okay, wow, it's very light, very pretty and light and beautiful. Okay, I see it now. I see what all the hype's about. I'm just gonna kind of powder over my eyelids. And let's do brows. Old school. I used this the other day and it's like, I see why I like it. I'm going to just brush up my brows. And then you see, I've enjoyed this, and it is the medium brown. So I use the light side and I start up here and then bring it down like this, and then with what's left on my brush, kind of run it through the rest of my brows. I'm still using a light color right now, and then brush it through, and then I kind of look, and sometimes I do need just a touch of the dark, like right here. And we'll drag that out just a little bit. Okay, this fragrance is as good as mine. Now I'm going to use, I know I brought it up here. Here it is. The Benefit Brow Gel. I did see a new brow product I want to try. I'm going to go get it today. Just to test out. But I tell you, kind of gotten into my brows lately. Like that. And remember to use the side of this so you can kind of slick them back. Like that. Okay, so I thought today we would use this Bella Sophia Charlotte Tilbury palette. And I'm going to try my best to kind of recreate the look that I did in Vegas. I haven't done it in a while, so I hope I can remember what I did. I know that I used bronzer in the crease to start off with, because to me, when I do this, it's like a safety net. I know that I'm going to be okay. Like that. I'm just using like the spot that doesn't have any shimmer. Like that. And I think I'm going to do a little bit underneath, like that. Okay, here comes the fun part. Okay, seems like I took this color right here and just started using this for the crease, but over that other one, and then kind of bringing it out like that. Yes, like that. Isn't that, just that alone is so pretty. Okay, now I'm going to use a little bit of this darkest color right here. I've got my brown and black liners out here because, especially in the summer, I love to, when I get to this point, I like to take my brown liner and do it first. In Vegas, I just used the black, but this is something I want you guys to try. Okay. Make sure you get down by the lashes. I need a new one. My tip of this one's getting a little wonky. And that's never good, is it? Okay. Isn't that pretty? I love, and I have to say it's this one. It's the roller liner that's the best, the brown. And I'm trying to make sure my thickness and roundness is somewhat similar here. Now I'm going to take the black and I'm just going to go along the lash line. I'm not done with the eyeshadow, but this just helps me, I don't know, get a grip of the whole look and see how much more I want to do. We've already got like little fruit flies in here. If you see one flying around, It's actually probably from my plants, but I haven't had them in a long time, so it's one of those little bugs. Okay, so that gives you the depth at the lash line, and you still have the wing, but it's not too much, which I don't, I'm not worried about anything being too much, but sometimes it's fun during the day just to have a little bit of something different. Okay, so now I'm going to go into this color here that's a little bit more sparkly. And just put it on the end. Aren't all the colors different? I mean, to me they look so much prettier than they do in this palette. They're just so much warmer, and I don't know. I'm going to go into a little bit more of this first color we did, and I'm going to go a little bit higher up here. Then I'm going to get a small brush. Here's one, and I'm going to go, this color is good. This is the cherry on top here. Gives it the pizzazz. Especially like on a night out, you can really play it up a little bit more. Like here, I'm gonna bring it more in. Like that. It just looks so pretty. But it doesn't scream at you, highlight, but it just brings it all together. Okay, so now we're going to do mascara. And I'm going to use one of my old favorites, which is the Chanel Le Volume. And I always love testers of mascara. It has to have something to do with the little short handle. Of course, I got some on my lid. Okay, while I'm waiting for my lashes to dry a little bit, let me tell you what I was talking about from this morning. Remember when we moved here, I did a fragrance video. And, I had everything in a box and I put it over here. John was doing the walls and everything. We were waiting for my credenza. And so I didn't think a lot of it. I just had a few out that I was using. So fast forward to the last month or, ever so long, I could not find some of my fragrances. And I'm not talking just little fragrances that you can replace. I'm talking limited editions. My bottle of New West, a bottle of Gucci that we got in Washington. We got it for Brooke in the Gucci store. A bottle of Bond Number 9, I Love New York, that I got at the Bond Number 9 store. Some Bond Number 9s that were gifts and were limited edition. Some of my all-time favorites. Some of my House of Sillage. I mean, a KKW. All of these. And then even before that, I had even more than that missing. So I started looking, and there's just but so many places to look here because it's a new house and we know pretty much where everything is. So I found, just the ones I had pulled out, and it was just a few of them, and I didn't even have my Bronze Goddess. I didn't have just like some of my basics. So I kept it inside, or I was telling Brooke and John, and we were all looking and everything. And then finally, after a couple of weeks, I told my parents because, it was upsetting me so bad. I just could not believe, I couldn't believe I had given those away. And I just knew I didn't. But I thought, did I get so crazy that I gave those away? And then I just kept saying, no, I would never give that away. So it was just killing me, and we would keep looking over and over and over everywhere. And then, so I finally told my parents, and they saw how upset I was. And I was almost home from leaving there. This was either last week or the week before. I think it was, I don't know, it was in the last couple of weeks. I got almost home, and my mom called, and she said, I found some of your fragrances. She said, when you left, your daddy said, you need to help her find those perfumes. And I had given her some to see if she liked. But they were, you know, like if you give your mom or your daughter something, it's not like you're really giving it away. You still know where it is. And it was my Estee Lauder Double Wear. It was, I can't even remember what it was right now, but it wasn't the ones. It's like, I remember when she told me in the car, like my hands just tingled. They almost went numb. I thought it was going to be all the ones I had been thinking of. So I said, okay, I'm turning around right now and I'm going to come back. So I got there and she brought out, they were just in a bag. It was just a few of them. So I knew that wasn't like the mother load of all of my most precious fragrances. I mean, just, you guys, some that I really liked. And so it was a little bit of a happy moment, but it still made me feel so bad. And I even told her, I said, you know, the only thing I could think of is that I gave them to like my aunt or something. And I'm certainly not going to ask for them back. I just don't know. I said, but I really don't think I would have given those away. So this morning I was up early and I was getting Will ready for school. And John kind of started in on me about helping him in the garage. And I said, you know, I've got to make a video today. And I'm real funny because I get in the zone for my video like the night before. And I don't like to be kind of hassled or anything because I don't want to get frustrated before my video. So I told him, you know, I'll have to get with you later in the week and, you know, talk about that. So when I got home, you guys, I don't want to cry. It's so silly to cry over perfume. He had them all sitting on the counter. He found a box because I kept asking him, are you sure there's none in the garage? And what happened is when the movers packed up my shelves from upstairs in my old house, not the rental house, but my old house, they had packed up some of my fragrances and some little knick-knacky things, like this big green ball that I'm glad to see too. And they had wrapped it all on paper and put those knick-knacky things on top. And it said office or something. It was all of my fragrances, you guys. I mean, just, I never knew that something like that could mean so much to me. But it's, like I said, always, it's the memories behind it. A lot of it was being so upset with myself for being like that, which I knew I didn't give those away. But I thought, well, maybe I just pure lost my mind and gave those away. So that happened this morning, and it's just, I don't know. It's been, so, I mean, I was like shaking. It has just been wonderful, wonderful. Okay, oh gosh, my lashes are probably already too dry. These are new. I just trimmed them. And we're just going to put them on the ends of my eyes where they turn down. And we're just going to use them to lift up my eyes. So it's not screaming, I've got false lashes on, but it gives me that extra oomph at the end, and it lifts. You just take them and put them. And that's another reason we do the little bit of black eyeliner, because that way it gives your lashes a little bit to sit on. Okay, I noticed I still have my lash glue. You can see how this gets missed because I can't see it with my eyes open. Okay, now we're going to take that palette again. Now my nose is running from getting emotional. Okay, now let's take this brush. I just wiped it off. And let's go back into that darkest shade, and then I'm going to go a little bit into that shade too. And I'm going to come off just a little bit right here, just to deepen up that outer. Like that. That's pretty much like it. Yay! I think this is a wonderful palette. And I hope that with you seeing me use it, you can see how the colors just are so much prettier than they are in here. They're not as murky, or I think they're just have the perfect amount of warmth too for the summertime. Okay, is there anything else? Oh, the spray. My fan. Setting spray is up to you. Like if you want to use a long-lasting one. I think my most ever used was MAC Fix Plus. Okay, Okay, let me take my clip out and zhuzh my hair. And then this dress is also from Nordstrom. I got it a couple of weeks ago, and I think it's something that you guys are gonna like. But it's just a good, very thin, it almost could be used as a beach cover-up, or just like when I stay down at the beach, I like something like this to put on in the mornings, because I don't want to really get dressed because I know I'm going to put my bathing suit on, but I need something to just eat breakfast. I love the slit in the side, not just for like sexy reasons, but just because it helps it be more comfortable. It helps you walk, it helps the flow. It does not have a slit on this side, which I think is kind of cool. And I love it. So I guess it would be considered a maxi dress. And I love that you can wear a real bra with it. It's really a cool fabric too. It's, I don't know how to describe it. You can see though, it's just like a little bit sheer. I hope that you can see. It's just perfect for the summertime, and I love the deep V. And I think that is it. So thank you to Nordstrom for sponsoring this video. I loved everything I used, and I love that. I really think if you're like me and you have been so curious about this fragrance, this is a good way to test it. I can still smell it. I still have that feeling. I don't feel like my heart isn't racing or anything like that, and I love it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.